You're all grumbly.
I'm playing my tumbly. Must be happy.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to grab a blank because I feel like while my mind is fresh, I need to make some additional notes and things. So I'm going to do this. Moving on, and this is taking so long. gosh, this is where I get confused with what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, I want to do here.
Don't worry about taking your time. I've got lots and lots of time.
I have this long scenario, and I'm having a difficult time figuring out what's really important in the scenario. Because I feel like if I'm just taking the instances where she ignored, am I missing important information that was happening before? You know? So that's where I'm finding the hard thing of what do I really need to be writing down as the antecedent. Because there's so many other things that are happening before, and they're kind of like part of the story, you know? So I'm like, how important are they in
So
the story?
what happens just before the thing that happens right before it?
Yeah, but, well, I'll talk to you later about why,
Okay.
like one of those things that I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to skip those. I'll just talk with you about that later. Okay.
While you're finishing up, I'm gonna get some water.
Sure.
Do you need some?
No, thank you. Thank you for asking.
You do or don't?
No, thank you.
Oh, okay.
as I have. And again, in centers, I saw a refusal to a teacher, and that was about kind of interacting with another child, and then ignoring a teacher request about giving a toy back, and then a refusal, and that refusal was interesting because it was just this very sarcastic, sarcastic response. That was kind of a refusal to comply to what the teacher was asking her to do. And the teacher was asking her, she was saying, so what do you do if you want to get a toy? And the response was, give it to me now. And she's doing it with a smile, you know. It was just a very sarcastic response. It was a refusal to the request of, tell me what it is that you say to get a toy. And then during the cleanup, 4 instances of ignoring, and then 1 refusal. And the refusal, interesting, because not a talking refusal, but like we saw before, a refusal of eye contact, but it's an action or an inaction in this case that the teacher is pointing to the table to remind her you need to go finish cleaning that up, and she just smiles at her and doesn't move. So that was that kind of refusal, but it wasn't a total ignore. It's like, I hear you, because I'm looking right at you and I'm smiling. So again, I'm seeing a trend of in centers some of those same kinds of free play things where you might get ignoring or refusals that seem to wrap around the sharing with other kids. That seemed to be the thing before, around the stickers, either control and or sharing, and then here again it was around control and or sharing, because it was around having the attention of the teacher and then the desire for a toy. So that would be interesting to see if really a lot of those are focusing around the sharing, or is it really more about that having control? And this is why I was asking about that one thing, what happened directly before the taking the bucket is knowing Adeline. See, this is where I wonder, how much do you need to have before? So here's some precursors to what's happening at the sensory tub, that Adeline was at the table for a long time playing with this little black bucket and sponge and having so much fun with that black bucket and sponge. And then Letty, worrying about this getting kind of out of control wet at the table, brings her to the sensory tub, helps redirect her to the sensory tub, allowing her to bring the bucket, saying, hey, do you want to bring that over and stuff? So then she's bringing that over. Then Miss Eck is trying to get Leticia to kind of move away because she's worried. I can tell that Eck is worried that it's interfering with what we're doing. So I can see her kind of trying to get over here, Letty. And Adeline immediately calls her back. And so then I see Leticia trying to get Adeline involved in playing with another kid. And saying, hey, let's play with Diego a little bit. And that was her first refusal. No. And she says, why not? Well, I want to play with you. So Letty's kind of staying there and playing with her a little bit, but then Letty's trying to move back. So she tells everyone that she's just going to watch. She tells Adeline, I'm just going to stand back and I'm going to watch now. So you can play with these guys and these guys. And she stands back and Adeline doesn't do anything. But then Darius comes over and gets the little black bucket that's just been sitting there for a while. But then Adeline looks over and grabs it. So I'm thinking, is the antecedent Darius grabs the bucket, or is the antecedent really Letty just left and she doesn't have that attention anymore? So that wasn't directly what happened before. What happened directly before was Darius joins the table, picks up the black bucket, Adeline grabs the bucket. But I'm wondering, I think an important part of that story might be that Adeline was really working on trying to get Letty to be there and so enjoying that one-on-one interaction. And then that happens right after Letty says, I'm going to stand back. And then there's this kind of power struggle between Letty and Adeline where she's, no. And does this very sarcastic remark, that was really keeping Leticia there. Because Leticia's like, well, is she just going to jump right in and take it away again? I mean, I can see those happening.
Yeah.
So that's where I was wondering, how much is it really, like how much do you really need to know that information? And so then the cleanup was just, that was confusing to me because it's like, oh, she complied. Now it just kind of looks like she's complying without complying, and now, I mean, it became really hard for me to do that flow because I see comply, not comply, half comply, not comply, and so trying to mark that was a little bit different. But again, I can see this trend of, and I would almost alter my trend a little bit in the cleanup before it seems like she's really avoiding cleanup. And it really felt like the trend this time wasn't necessarily avoiding cleanup, but avoiding other people making her choices. It seemed to be more based upon power. And so I'm thinking as a next step, what I would be looking at is, I think I would probably focus specifically on either that free play time and see how much is she doing things to try to get that kind of attention and control that we were kind of talking about, or choose to really focus on just the cleanup and see if those refusals and that ignoring around cleanup, try to get data and see if that's a continuing trend. Is she avoiding cleaning altogether? Or is she avoiding is it more an avoidance of the command? Because I see her cleaning things up, but I don't see her necessarily cleaning up what the teachers are asking her to. Those kinds of things, it was like a comply and then a non-comply. So that's what I would want to check out next. And to make that decision, then I would be sitting down with the staff and saying, so this is what I'm going for, and would you like to really focus on cleanup, or would you like to really focus on centers? And see where they would like to go with that, which one that they feel that they would want to go for. But I think that's where my next observation would really be focused on, to see if we can really figure out, is this about her just needing to have a little bit of control and choice during that cleanup, and how much is she really just looking for some control and attention in that free play. And so now I will get these papers and put them in our safe little locked box over here until the time I would be able to meet with the teachers to pull out that information and go over it with them.
Okay, so let me stop the camera and restart it. Would you like to take a short break?